This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Eloise Phillips, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Monday, February 23rd. Cabinet continues advocating for Taiwan's best interests despite US tariff upset. President hosts Tea Party welcoming New Year of cooperation. And Australian frigate transits Taiwan Strait. But first, today's top story. President Lai Ching-te and Premier Zhou Zhangtai assured the public that they will keep close communication with the United States to ensure Taiwan's best interests following the US Supreme Court's ruling over the weekend that many of Trump's sweeping tariffs are illegal. On Friday, February 20th, local time, the United States Supreme Court ruled that all tariffs issued by the Trump administration under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act were illegal. This ruling does not apply to tariffs targeting specific industries, such as steel, under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. By Saturday, Trump announced on social media that he would instate new 15% global tariffs under Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act. In response, President Lai said on social media that he would closely monitor the Trump administration's next steps and maintain close communication. He underscored that, regardless of how the situation changes, the government's goal remains to ensure the best treatment for Taiwan and that already inked agreements are not compromised. The Premier echoed these statements on Monday, noting that Taiwan has already contacted the US as their part of maintaining the recently signed bilateral MOUs and most favourable treatment under the remaining 232 tariffs. Cho said,
The Supreme Court's ruling hasn't changed the MOU we already negotiated, or the most favored nation treatment under Section 232. We must strive to preserve this foundation and immediately confirm with the U.S. government subsequent legal avenues. There may still be other developments regarding tariffs, so as of today, we have already begun contact and assessment. At an appropriate time, perhaps soon, we will provide a more detailed explanation to the public.
Cho continued that the government would continue to strive for the most favourable terms for Taiwan and its industries based on existing negotiations. President Lai Ching-te held a tea party on Monday, February 23rd, at the presidential office to welcome the first workday of the Lunar New Year, welcoming Premier Zhou Zhangtai, Legislative Speaker Han Kuo-yu, and the heads of the 5 branches of government. The president stated that he hoped that the presidential office and the 5 branches could continue transforming misunderstandings into understanding, differences into unity, personal interests into national interests, and conflict into harmony. The president pointed out that the tea gathering had no set agenda, but should naturally be filled with the sounds of tea, laughter, and conversation. He expressed his gratitude to Han, who previously used the word transformation to highlight the direction of the tea gathering, hoping that the ruling and opposition parties could resolve major issues into minor ones and minor issues into nothing, bringing good fortune to the nation. The president said,
Although this is very difficult and not something that can be achieved overnight, and not something that can be accomplished by today's tea gathering, I hope that everyone will take the first step for the country, society, and people. Let's consider today's tea gathering as the first step.
During a post-meeting interview, Han invited President Lai to the legislature to give a State of the Nation report to explain Taiwan's current internal and external challenges. Lai readily accepted, pending a 3-party consensus and formal invitation. An Australian naval vessel transited the Taiwan Strait over the weekend, drawing the attention of Chinese and international media. The Defence Ministry issued a statement on Monday, February 23rd, that Taiwan's armed forces were aware of the transit and that, as the Taiwan Strait is international waters, all countries may freely navigate through it. Foreign media reported that the Royal Australian Navy's Anzac-class frigate, Toowoomba, conducted a routine transit through the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait from Friday through Saturday. The ship was closely monitored by Taipei and Beijing, with the Toowoomba's helicopter approaching the median line Friday afternoon, before returning to the ship following a warning from Taiwanese forces. The trip was part of a regional presence deployment in the Indo-Pacific region, according to the Australian Defence Department. The Defence Ministry said that the ROC armed forces monitor and control air and sea activities surrounding Taiwan using a combination of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. The ministry also emphasised that the Taiwan Strait is international waters, meaning all countries have the right of free navigation. To that end, it stated it will not proactively release information on the movements of allied nations' ships and aircraft. President Lai Ching-te shared a video on Facebook reciting a Taiwanese poem on International Mother Language Day, observed annually on February 21st. Lai said that language is not just a tool for communication, but also carries the memories and emotions of generations. A poetry collection allows everyone to rediscover the beauty of their mother tongue and ensures that Taiwanese continues to be heard and used in daily life. The president said he recently picked up the poetry collection Jitui, or Sparkling Sunflowers, at the Taipei International Book Exhibition. Its first print run sold out immediately, earning it the title 2026 Publishing Miracle. It topped elite bestseller lists and made the recommended reading selections. Lai stated that he loved the book upon opening it, praising the poetry's incredibly beautiful words that tenderly yet powerfully capture subtle emotions, light and shadow, and everyday life with Taiwanese. On this Mother Language Day, Lai recited Trap Sleep, or Hanbin, and invited the author and Otaiji initiative founder Wen Ruoqiao to read Firewood Flower, or Chao Hui. He said he was especially moved by how the young author crafts elegant, mature prose that reveals the depth of the Taiwanese language, reinforcing his belief that the mother tongue is evolving in the hands of the younger generation. On Monday, the first workday after Lunar New Year, President Lai Ching-te posted on Facebook to wish the nation a, quote, prosperous start to work, immediate success, and smooth sailing, end quote. He emphasized that the government will press on relentlessly so that every citizen enjoys peace and prosperity. Lai expressed his gratitude to those who held the line over the holiday, ensuring uninterrupted social operations and a safe, smooth New Year for all. On the holiday's final day, Lai shared a light-hearted video on social media of a pet playdate at the presidential office. It featured former President Tsai Ing-wen visiting last year with her dogs Lele and Pineapple, joining Lai's adopted dogs Banban and Murphy. Lai noted that Tsai brought advice and encouragement for him and Vice President Xiaobi Kim, as well as beef jerky for the dogs. In return, he gifted a pineapple-shaped toy to Pineapple and a toy ball to Lele. Reflecting on Banban, adopted over a year ago, Lai said the dog's quiet companionship helps to ease daily fatigue. He shared the clip to wish everyone a pleasant end to the holiday. The president concluded that the new year marks a formal return to work, adding that the government will take the lead and continue striving to protect everyone's safety and well-being. February 22nd is Cat Day in Japan, but Taiwanese businesses are increasingly jumping on the bandwagon, featuring adorable felines in the form of advertisements, installations, and products.
Walking into a Taiwanese convenience store on February 22nd, Japan's Cat Day, a customer is not only greeted by cat advertisements and attention-grabbing installations, but also a plethora of adorable cat-themed products all readily available for purchase. From daily items such as bread and coffee to limited edition Cat Day merchandise, felines celebrate people's love for their fuzzy companions. According to Agriculture Ministry statistics, in 2025, the number of registered cats in Taiwan surpassed that of dogs for the first time, exceeding 3.4 million. Cat-themed living is now mainstream and also the cutest weapon for businesses vying for a market share. Taiwan Marcom Certification Association Chairman Wang Fukai says that Taiwan has seen a continuous increase in the number of cat owners and pet cats, which has boosted overall business opportunities. With this year's Cat Day coinciding with the Lunar New Year season, even those who aren't necessarily cat lovers will find themselves drawn to retail or e-commerce promotions. Dominating not only Taiwan's households, but also our hearts, cats are no longer just a source of comfort. They have become the perfect, powerful tool for brands to capture market share. Michelle Chang for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Eloise Phillips. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Cash for everyone. The government is giving out 10,000 NT dollars. It's easy to claim. Choose direct deposit, ATM, or post office. Check details at the official website 10,000.gov.tw or 10000.gov.tw or call the free hotline at 1988. Stay alert. Don't trust unknown sources. This advertisement is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance.